Hi there, Virgo. Let's get into it. So I'm using the Anna K Tarot, which the cards are kind of big, which I like, but it takes up a lot of room. Okay, so I'm still going to do January, even though it's pretty much over. We have the King of Cups. So this is an emotionally mature man. He's not afraid of his emotions. He's very able to discuss them and let you know how he feels in a very calm manner. But he's not ruled by his emotions. So the negative side of this king is a very, like, probably a guy who gets angry a lot, who flies off the handle, who gets stressed out. Like, any little thing sets him off. He can't control his emotions. So this is the opposite. He's very emotionally calm and in touch with his feelings, but he's not ruled by them. Very good about things. We're not going to, if there's sort of any tense times going on this month, we're going to be able to handle them with a lot of maturity and not let our emotions get away with us, not let anxiety eat us up, or anger or jealousy, or whatever we can do. And at the same time, cups are an emotional card. We're also not going to, if we meet someone new, we're going to be responsible about it. We're not going to just be like, oh my God, I'm head over heels and I'm flying to Vegas and getting married or something stupid like that. We're going to, be mature about it and face a maturity and say, I really, really like you, I really, really like you. But let's, see, I can't say it without saying, but let's take it slow and let's see how it goes and go from there. So lots of maturity. We have the Judgment card. So the Judgment card, this is sort of an interesting card because it can kind of be like the Justice card. But I sort of feel like, these people are like coming back from the dead, is kind of the way this card's depicted. So it's like, what would you do if you got another chance at your life? Like, how would you relive it? If you were all of a sudden, pretend you're just, forget everything about your life and you're awakened again and you had this second chance, this new opportunity to just look at your life with fresh eyes and kind of have a do-over. Like, what would you do? How would you do things differently? And then figure out how to do that. Do them differently. Don't be afraid to, I think sometimes I'm Jen and I have a very stable, safe job, which I like, but I don't love. It's not like my passion, but it's fulfilling for the most part. And, I really love horses, but I don't have the money to have one right now. And I really want to do more tarot readings, but it's that would be too risky. And what I like, and just say, well, what if I looked at it in a different way? What if I said, stop all that, pretend you're someone different, and this box of who you are and how you defined yourself doesn't exist anymore. And everyone says, oh, she's the girl who does this, or he's the guy who does that. Well, throw that all out the window, because you define who you are and what your life is. And how freeing would that be to just sort of, I would think it would be like having a near-death experience or something, and just getting such a wake-up call, like, dumbass, I don't usually swear in my videos. This is it. This is not a dress rehearsal. We get one shot at this, and what are you going to do? So that's what I'm feeling from that card. The Hanged Man. So the Hanged Man is about he's like standing on this pole. It's so funny. I always try to turn this around. Okay, so stop goofing off, Jen. So the Hanged Man is all about perspective, gaining perspective. This card's kind of interesting. I really love this deck, but a few of the cards, like the The swords cards especially are really sort of terrifying. And this one's kind of negative. Like he's like stuck out here in the rain and he doesn't look very happy. And my interpretation of the hangman is always like, okay, you're stuck hanging upside down. You can just sit there and be pissed off and damn, I'm freaking stuck upside down. This sucks. And now it's raining. And just like, you can go there or you can be like, well, you know what? I'm not at work. I'm not this, I'm that. I'm like, why don't I use this time out to just take advantage of it? Because this is where I am. It's like acceptance, here's where I am. And I can either, you can choose how you're going to look at it, how you're going to deal with it, what you're going to do with this time. Even if you would rather be doing something else, well, this is where you are. Can you use this downtime in a productive manner? And that's what the hangman usually, he does. But see, in this card, it's sort of more negative. But if it was reversed, he would be looking, there's clouds over here. He would be using this to gain a different perspective. He would appreciate that when he's hanging upside down, things don't look the same. And maybe he could look at things in a different and new way and use that to his advantage. So I think that goes really nicely with the Judgment card of really looking at life in a completely different way. Wow, I'm loving this. Okay, now we have the World. Completion of a cycle, coming full circle. We have the cycles of the moon here. So this is a great card. It's an ending and a beginning. It's completing, it's interesting. It's May, so some of you will be completing school. Congratulations. So it's exciting. It's like, wow, I finished college or high school or, a degree. It's really great. And then on the other side of it, it's still great, but it's like, okay, where do I go from here? What do I do with it from here? It's like a whole new life. And gosh, it's still kind of like the Judgment and the Hangman. It's like this new beginning, this awakening in us is happening. And we're really, I think, because of the Judgment card and the Hangman, starting a new way of life here. And the springtime, I think, is really going to affect us this year. It's really going to awaken our soul. It's going to stir something in us. I feel it so strongly. And we are not going to live in the same way anymore. And I don't know why that is, if there's some world event that's going to happen, but I don't think so much, because I think this is already, the seeds have been planted, but something is going to shift within us. And we're going to live in a different way, in a very positive way. Ooh, look at us taking off into the sun. Into summer, if you're in the northern hemisphere. It's just like, the summer solstice, just taking charge, not going along for the ride, not going through life reacting to situations, but acting with purpose and directing our lives and going forward to what we want. Exactly. That's exactly what I was feeling. It kind of goes back to like stepping out into the sun with this card and going for it. Taking charge. Boy, I feel it so strongly. We're just really going to be taking charge of things and directing our lives the way we want it, not the way anyone else wants it. That's beautiful. Okay, the Strength card. So we're going to be feeling very strong after the ramp up here with Judgment, the Hangman, the World, and the Chariot. And now here we have Strength. And I always like to read this card actually as vulnerability, because to truly be strong means doing things that scare you or you're not completely sure of, and putting yourself out there. And that's the only way not always, but often the only way we really get what we want. If it's usually involves some sort of risk or some sort of, um, taking a chance. This is not about white knuckling it and brute strength. This is about grace under fire and knowing when to ask for help, when you need help, when you can help others, and using your skills and staying strong and steady when regardless of what's going on, and knowing you can always count on yourself to be that way, to be strong and steady regardless of external influences. So I think we've gained a lot of confidence over the first 6 months, and we're really stepping into our own and feeling very secure about things. Even when we may not be feeling completely like, oh yeah, everything's fine, and even when we might be feeling like we're taking a bit of a risk. Wow, the cards just keep getting better or staying positive. The Nine of Pentacles. I read this card very often as confidence. This lady, it often depicts a single lady who's usually in, beautiful gardens, often with a falcon, and just showing, sort of enjoying the fruits of your labor. But it doesn't have to be that singular. This is about having worked hard and having gains and things have come to fruition, and you've actually, made things happen on a material level, and you're taking time to enjoy it. And there's a lot of confidence when you've worked hard and persevered and taken purposeful action to make things happen and then to have them happen, because it's rarely easy, and you had to make yourself vulnerable and really take charge and figure out where you're going and go through the whole process. So really going to be, again, knowing we have that strength, we've through our hard work and planning and perseverance, we've made things happen, and we're going to be feeling really good about it. We have the High Priestess, another major. Wow. Amazing. So I'm really seeing this as we may be the high priest did I say the priestess before? The high priest in September, because we have come so far that perhaps people will be seeking us out and saying, how did you do it? How have you come through things so with such grace and dignity, and even been able to thrive during the ups and downs of life with such grace and confidence. And also, this card for me, I think spiritually we really will have matured at the same time, because I think if you're really grounded spiritually, it gives you a lot of confidence and tools to fall back on to be able to make it through rougher times, or not that we're having rough times, but just resistance and all the everyday things you have to do to actually make some progress in this world. And it also talks about being open to finding spiritual tools for life, or words of wisdom in perhaps less traditional ways. Although a lot of people read this as a tradition card, I sort of see it. There's many different spiritual leaders. There's the Pope, there's the Dalai Lama, but then, boy, I tell you, my child gives me some amazing insights and sort of has a way of succinctly putting things that makes me go, oh my God, you're right. No kidding. And even our animals can show us how to just enjoy the simple things in life and to keep it easy. So keep an open mind as to where you can find some of those really special grains of truth that can give you those aha moments, those moments of clarity that sort of help you see things in a little different way and help you get that much more grounded and spiritual. So now we're on to October. Oh my God, you're kidding me. I shuffled this deck. Another major arcana. Wow, the Emperor. Geez, so this is October. So we're a leader, leadership qualities, spiritual and, practical. So all the kings go to the Emperor. So he is able to relate with swords, cups, pentacles, wands. He embodies sort of all the positive things of all of those suits. And he can discuss with all the different kings and anyone else and relate to them in a really good way. And he makes decisions. People look to him because they know he makes fair, thoughtful decisions using all the different suits for the best of everyone involved. And that's how you gain respect. You don't necessarily gain respect by trying to make everyone happy, but you gain respect by earning it, by conducting yourself in a way where people, what's that? I think it's Dr. Phil that says you command respect, you don't demand it. So if you truly want someone to respect you, you conduct yourself in a manner that they respect. Okay, November. Wow. The 10 of Cups. So we're going to be going into the holidays feeling just very fulfilled. And I love this card in this deck because look at it. It's just her. It's just this person in this Ring of Cups. So known often as the Happy Family card, it shows that happiness is within. It's within you. She has her eyes closed and she's just feeling, the goodness within her. And I feel like it's almost radiating. It's such, the yellow in this card is so beautiful. Just radiating warmth and kindness and happiness. So I think this is a tremendous amount of inner work and really coming into our own this year and really gaining some amazing inner happiness. When then, if you're extremely happy on the inside, it will translate to happiness with others. Because one, you're not going to allow yourself to be around people and in situations that, maybe going back to this card at the very beginning, that cause you unhappiness or anxiousness. And then the things that you can't remove yourself from, you've gone through, all these majors to gain the skills and wisdom to be able to deal with it. And, going into November, we're just going to be feeling so good on the inside and so kind of proud of ourselves. And I really feel like we should. Holy crap. The Hermit. I swear I had all 78 cards when I dealt these cards. Wow. So December with the Hermit. And the Hermit, I think, he's looking out, he's looking back. I think spiritually we're going to be in a really, really good place. I see big transformations and big life lessons. But I just want to caution you, I think these are really going to be internal shifts and lessons. So it's not like, any huge... It's not like everyone else in the world is going to be like, wow, they, created this huge business and everything's amazing now. It's sort of like you're taking control of your life and your happiness and your spirituality and how you deal with others and how you conduct yourself in this world. And so it's going to be more of an internal shift, but you will find that people look to you more, respect you more, treat you better because of those internal shifts in the way you now are conducting yourself and your boundaries, what you will and will not tolerate, how you deal with other people, how you take charge, how you just exist in your inner happiness. Wow, this has been an amazing, amazing reading. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next video. Take care.